Hi everybody, I'm Bilal Lesmani and welcome to a Mawaheb chat by Imagination. We're here today with Phil Dunphy.
Sort of. Hi everybody. Hey. How are you? This is no different than America. A dude in a baseball hat just yelled, "What's up, Phil?"
So Ty Burrell, as everybody knows, is a two-time Primetime Emmy Award winning actor. You all know him from ABC's comedy Modern Family and Muppets Most Wanted and a bunch of other stuff. So Mawaheb chats are usually a really intimate sit-down that's filmed with aspiring filmmakers and animators and the actors, etc. With a celebrity, we get to sit down and pick your brain.
That won't take long. If you're picking my brain, it's a very short exercise.
Well, we're pretty hungry, so we'll pick until
Okay,
it's gone. But so this time we've taken it to another level and we have this awesome audience here. And so after the chat, there'll be a time where we can get Q&A questions from the audience for a Q&A session. You've had experience acting in different medium. So you've acted in voiceover actors, you've been a voiceover actor, you've acted in television and film. How have those experiences compared?
A voiceover, first of all, how many actors are here? We have some actors in here? All right. Voiceover for me has come kind of most recently because it was a world that I tried very hard to break into when I was younger and could not get hired in voiceover work, and needed the good fortune of the show Modern Family to basically, break through that barrier for me. So I've only had about 3 years of doing voiceover work, and I'm learning on the job, really. They have to be very patient because I'm not very good at it. But I love it. It's it's super precise. Yeah. It's a very precise medium. So, because they have the luxury of being precise, so you can do, I'm not exaggerating, for an animated film, I made a movie a year ago called Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Yep. And you can do upward of 100 takes, for a line, which gets a little bit crazy. You don't even know what you're saying anymore, actually. You're kind of just mouth moving and you trust that you're saying the words. But I actually really love it. And I think for a guy who's in his mid-40s, anything that you come across in your life, this would apply to any career, but anything that's new in your life, for me has just been exciting. I think voiceover stuff has been very, very exciting because it's new. You're
saying you're mid-40s, but you're doing something that's, like your inner child is coming out. Yeah. And I was saying when you have children yourself, that's your second chance to become a child again.
Oh, for sure. And I'm much less mature than my 5-year-old and 3-year-old. Yeah.
I understand very well.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife earlier, and I think I told you this at lunch, that I was sitting with my daughter who's watching one of her favorite shows, Doc McStuffins, which is a Disney Junior show. And so I was looking at her for a second, and then all of a sudden I hear your voice. And so I turned around and I thought I accidentally changed the channel. And it was Modern Family, but in fact it was you and a Jack in the Box. Yeah. So how did that happen?
That came about because my daughters are African American, and Doc McStuffins was the first African American sort of lead of an American television series. Right. So I did the pilot episode as a Jack in the Box.
Oh, nice. That was the pilot then.
That was the pilot, but I didn't do any after. I just wanted to be able to have a little bit of cred with my daughters when they got older, and I did one episode. So.
Well, there's a saying in writing, write what you know. Yeah. In acting, does that sort of work the same way where you act? Is it easier to act a character that you know?
There's a reason that Phil Dunphy has been the best job of my life, because sadly, I don't think I'm that different from Phil Dunphy. There's an alarming amount of times, and my friends who are here tonight can back me up on this, that I walk into a light pole or trip and fall into a body of water. And I'm constantly trying to make my daughters laugh to 0% success.
Really?
Yeah. Unless I fall on accident, in which case they find it hilarious.
You are a family man, and does that sway you to take more family roles?
Yeah, it has. It has. I played, not that anybody here would know, but before Modern Family, I played mainly bad guys. So I played a lot of, I'll reserve the language, but just not nice people. I played the guy who, in every movie you've ever seen, when he walks on screen, you know at some point he's going to be shot or fired. You know what I mean? It's the guy who walks in and says something terrible to somebody, and that you spend the rest of the movie going, God, I hope he gets his comeuppance. And then he does. So I always worked, not too long, because I'd be dead by 2 months into filming. We started doing Modern Family in 2009, believe it or not, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I had, my wife and I adopted our first child in our first season. So from then on, it's affected a lot of what I want to do, Not entirely. I really do get a lot of satisfaction out of playing complicated characters. Was lucky enough to do a film called Skeleton Twins last year that was more in the vein of movies that I was doing before.
Yeah.
But there's something about having kids that makes you, I think, just want to be a part of whatever they're what they're interested in.
Yeah.
And also the other part of it, to be totally honest, is that the things that are offered to me changed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I got offered things that were much more family driven. It's actually taking me work now to go backwards and try to play characters that aren't nice. So, which is great.
What do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy acting the nice guy or the guy who gets killed?
I will never ever not like playing Phil Dunphy, because he's a dog that can talk.
Which is the other movie?
Yes, which is Mr. Peabody. Yeah. He's a talking dog who kind of walks into the room with people, and he's that dog that's so happy that he's just constantly wagging his tail, but in doing so is also knocking stuff off of the coffee table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's actually a great way to wake up in the morning, to play somebody like that. At 5 a.m. For a shoot, if you're playing Phil Dunphy, you hop out of bed.
Did you know at the time that of Imagination, when you were in what was it called? Fair Game?
No, I didn't.
Was that an production?
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's interesting, because Fair Game was a part. It was a very small part, basically at a dinner party.
Yeah.
And it was a part that I took right when I found out that I had gotten Modern Family, I believe. Is that possible? No, it came out before then. It was my first TV comedy, though, I think. I think it may have actually come out right before a different comedy called Out of Practice. But it's symbolic to me. I always think back on that movie symbolically, because in a way it's before I got the first opportunity, I guess, to do comedy.
Yeah.
And that was typical of kind of the movies I was doing. And if you remember, I got screamed at in that movie.
Yep. Yeah.
that was my life.
Killed?
Not killed, though,
Yeah.
or fired. No, you're right.